This is ASKA. It's a Viking survival game that asks, what if Valheim was about the people instead of the buildings? So that sounds a little bit cryptic. That's fine. I didn't really know what it was either when I first started. I've played it for maybe an hour or two. That was a couple of weeks ago, though. So let's get into it again. Let's start a new game from scratch and see if I can do a better job, honestly, than I did last time. We'll go with a normal world, generate it randomly, and start. Okay, so I start out. Whoa, hello, sir. I start out deposited by an ice giant on a shore. When I first started this game, I tried to build my town right here and immediately regretted it. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to pick up whatever we can, whatever Jotun blood we can collect, and then we're going to head inland. So it's telling me that I need to create an Eye of Odin. So what you want to do is find a place that's got plenty of trees. And luckily, I have actually landed right next to one. In my previous game, I was on like this long peninsula of beach that was really far away from any trees, and it was a really inconvenient place to try to plant my first settlement. So I want to find a place that is relatively flat, but close to some woods. And this seems correct. So I got to remind myself how things work. I think Z is the button I press, yes, to find resources, to get things highlighted. And there's not a lot around me right now. But let's look at what I want to do. So I've got a few things that I can build. I can build a simple fire. I can build... Where was the... There it is, the Eye of Odin. This is what's ultimately going to start my village, but I can't build it until I've built something else. So we're going to start by aiming at a simple fire. And the way this works is you plant down the thing that you want, and then you worry about getting the resources for it. So as you can see, I've got this little R button where I can supply its missing supplies, but I don't have any of them right now. But I can hit Q to pin the recipe, and now I will move my face to the bottom right so that you can see that I've pinned the recipe. And that tells me that I need 4 fibers and 6 sticks in order to build this thing. Oh, hello. Are you about to tell me about this? There we go. Yes, I was wondering. Okay, I was hesitating a little bit because I was like, last time I had the guidance of tutorial wisps, and I wasn't seeing any, and I was getting really nervous that I was going to have to remember everything that I'd done on my own. But luckily, it looks like I'm on the right track. This guy is telling me to do exactly what I'm doing. Oh, a fallen bird's nest. So I got an egg, I got some feathers. I am going to need to eat and drink. Okay, it looks like we've got some stones. The campfire isn't asking for stones yet, but things will. By the way, check this out. This is a really interesting decision. When I hit the Z key to make it easier to find resources, look what happens. All of the foliage shrinks away to make it easier to see the stuff that I'm trying to see. Because like if a rock was buried inside this grass, even highlighted, it would be hard to see the rock. And so they just shrink the grass away. It's a really clever solution that I don't think I would have thought of. So we're going to gather reeds, which don't directly give you fiber, but they are a step towards getting fiber. And all of this stuff does grow back, I believe. At least the reeds do. I'm not sure if everything grows back, but I think as a general rule, you shouldn't worry too much about running out of resources, at least at the beginning. So I'm going to collect basically this entire thicket of reeds. And you may notice that this is taking me some time. There's some effort involved in this. But this is a game about ultimately automation through the sharing of labor. And so right now I have to do everything manually. And I think they're deliberately not sugarcoating this. This is a lot of work. You know, collecting sticks from this driftwood. it takes a lot of time. And going around and finding every piece of driftwood that I need takes a lot of time. But eventually I'm going to have a village of people helping me. And this stuff is going to go a lot more smoothly, and I can move on to thinking about other things. For right now, I have to do all the work myself. Ooh, was that another fallen bird's nest? Look at that. Alright, so I come over here to my campfire, and I've got the 6 sticks that it needs. So I will hit R to supply the sticks. But I'm still missing the fibers. But that's okay, because if I open my... Where is my inventory? It's the I key? There, I key is the inventory. I've got all this thatch. If I click on the thatch, let's see here, I can left shift and left click it to harvest it. And what I'm doing is basically mulching it down to the next lower type of ingredient. So I just turned it into a bunch of fibers. So there's things you can do with thatch and not fibers. And so there's reasons why you want to collect thatch. But at this point, I don't need thatch. What I need is fibers. And so I've now broken it down. And we've got a simple fire. So I can add fuel to it because I do have some remaining sticks. And then I can hold E to ignite it. But I don't actually have to right now. Another thing that I can do is hit T to open this menu. Right now, this tutorial pops up every single time. No, it doesn't. I can hit... Oh my gosh, did I not see this button when I was playing this by myself? I did not see that button. Okay, fine, whatever. It doesn't pop up every single time if you can read. But, okay, so it's got upgrades to it. For instance, I can turn it into a larger, more permanent campfire by collecting 6 small stones and more sticks. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to set it up to be expanded further. I've already got a couple of stones. Let's go get more sticks. Also, does this guy, is he just going to keep bugging me until I make his hint go away? Oh no, okay, this is a new hint. Here, I'll pin this so that we can see what's going on. So yeah, it does want me to upgrade the fire. Because this is an important part of the progression of your village. You're going to build elementary stuff, and then you're going to upgrade that same stuff into the better stuff. So unlike Valheim, this game, at least from what I've seen so far, and I've only played it for like a couple of hours, from what I've seen so far, it doesn't have the detailed construction system of a game like Valheim or Sons of the Forest or something like that. Everything I believe is prefabbed, but you know, because basically managing this game, it's not about the details of your construction. It's much more about how you're managing your people once the people arrive. And so they've basically got sort of a tech tree of buildings you'll be building, almost like you're building, like you're working on like a city builder or something like that. That's the way you kind of need to think about the stuff you're putting together here. Okay, so if I collect enough driftwood and enough stones, oh, my gathering skill is going up. Yay. By the way, notice that when things are... Oh, let's look at the inventory system real quick. This is interesting. So you can carry one large item at a time. You can carry, looks like 20 medium items. And you can carry another... this is not 20. This is what? 24 stacks of small items. So small items can stack to a certain level. Like I've got 6 small stones in the same slot here. Medium items don't stack. They just pile up in these slots. And in large items, you can only have one at a time. And if you look at your character, your medium items are actually gathered on the outside of your backpack. Your small items are hiding inside the backpack. And if you're carrying a large item, you're carrying it in your hands. And so I love how, I mean, I don't know, how kind of, I don't know if literal is the right word, but like maybe diegetic the inventory system is. So I'm going to hit R to supply that stuff. And now my campfire is upgraded. And again, I can add fuel to it if I want to. Now that I've learned that all of these resources are very replaceable, I'm less precious about them than I normally am in a game like this. Okay, so we've done that task. Are there any wisps around us? Because I'm pretty sure I know what to do next, which is I want to be building a shelter, and I want to be making tools. So let's look at our build menu and see what our options are right now. So we've got tools. Yeah, so I can make A stone axe is going to be valuable for chopping trees down, but I can't craft right now because this is a thing that I craft in my hand. I have to actually have all the equipment. So I need to have rope, I need to have a stone blade, and rope is made from fibers, I believe. Yeah, just 2 fibers per rope. So I can make some rope right now, actually. Let's just make all the rope we can. And then I need to make a stone blade out of 2 stones, which I don't have. But once I have those, I've got enough sticks. I can make myself a stone axe. Another thing that I'm going to want to make is a shelter for myself. I've already got a water pouch. That's right there. But I'm going to need to make a shelter and probably a rain collector so that I can get good access to water. So let's set up the shelter so that we can sort of pin it and be on the lookout for what it needs. Stick that there. And, okay, actually, the first thing that I need is to terraform, which requires a hoe. So, yeah, so I think step 1 is actually going to be me making some tools. So that means collecting rocks. Let's look around for rocks. I see one in the distance out there. And here's another. And it's starting to get dark. That means there could be some bad guys around. So actually, maybe the first thing I should make is a club. I'm just grabbing this stuff so that I can make rope, because that's going to be necessary for a lot of these tools. Okay, let's look at... Here, let's harvest these. And then let's look at what it takes to make a club. I can use any of my tools as weapons, but I kind of... Oh, I like the idea of... Actually, should I make a torch? I need resin for a torch. Okay. And... Oh, do I not have... Oh, I don't actually have a full-time weapon on this list. Interesting. I thought I did. I thought there was a club on here. Oh, well. Stone axe or wooden hoe is probably my target here. And, okay, so I still need to make some stone blades. So a stone blade is here. Let's craft a stone blade. And then with that, I can make an axe. Okay, so I've got an axe. So if, at night, something comes at me, I'm ready to smack it. I'll need to find some more stone, though, so that I can make the other tools that I need. Is that what this guy's going to tell me to do? Okay, yeah, so it's saying I need to build the shelter, but I also need a hoe and a stone axe. So, yeah, I'm on the right track here. So let's look for stones again. There we are. So yeah, I've been playing multiple survival games recently and sort of checking out how they handle the problem of making it possible to find small, low-level resources. I recently played Gold River Project, which did a great job of handling this by basically... They just did a really good job of tuning their art appearance, like the appearance of the actual art of these things, so that it stood out enough from the environment, and they also had a first-person perspective. So you're really close to everything you're looking at, and then they sort of made rules for themselves about the color and appearance of everything, so that the things you needed would stand out from the background. In this game, because it's a third-person game, and it's a third-person game with a really pulled-back camera, being able to sort of like see everything very closely was not going to be the solution. And so instead, they came up with this very clever system of just shrinking down all the foliage. Okay, so those are some little wispy guys. They're not hard to fight. In fact, I'm not good at the combat system yet because I haven't had to fight a lot of dangerous stuff in the combat system yet. Let's build ourselves a hoe, which needs... Okay, right, I need to make another stone blade. In fact, let's just make a bunch of stone blades because we're going to need them. Oh, yay, my crafting skill went up. And we'll make a hoe. And let's make a pickaxe while we're at it. And a wooden hammer. And a stone knife. No, I need a little bit more rope. There we go. Okay. Used everything. So let's start with our hoe. So I really like this part of it. So when you're building something... Wait, where did my town go? Oh, I think I went further this way than I thought I did. Wait, what was that? Oh, it's a natural water collector. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I should definitely drink some water. You see, lower left, I've got my survival stats. I was running low on water, so good. We drank some. All right. Okay, so the first step, now that I've got a hoe, you can see highlighted on the ground the parts of the ground that need to be leveled. So before I can build this thing, and so it kind of reminds me of Valheim, in that, you know, when you're building something in Valheim, you do have to think about, you know, leveling the terrain, building each piece, placing all of the things. This game doesn't go into that intricate level of detail. You're not building your shelter yourself out of like basic pieces. The shelter is prefabbed, but you're still going through the same process of first leveling the terrain manually, then showing up with the supplies, and in this case it needs actual logs in order to make it. So, and it goes step by step. Like you don't just sort of deliver everything all at once. Oh, okay, this tree is not the right kind of tree. This one, a young fir, is all I can do right now. So I can either just hack at it one click at a time, or I can hit the R key and hold it down, and my character will just do all the hacking until it's gone. But yeah, just like the same way that manual construction takes a lot of steps, you know, to build, you know, the foundation first, and, you know, bring all of the different pieces in, they sort of walk you through that same process for building prefab structures. So it didn't fall very far because it leaned on another tree, but you can still hack it into logs. Or long sticks, I should say. This becomes long sticks, which is a distinct thing from logs. But you can only carry one at a time. See, I can't pick the second one up. So it becomes really inconvenient to build something that requires a lot of long sticks. But that's okay, because eventually I'm going to have other people to help with that labor. Okay, so I've got the 2 long sticks on there. We're going to hold this to build. And that's using my hammer. And now we need different supplies. We need to have some rope and some wood, which, do I already have that? Not all of it. Let's see, what am I missing? I need another long stick and more sticks. Okay, well, we might still have that. Yeah, okay, so let's pick up the little sticks. And actually, I might as well grab the resin while I'm here, since I did want to make a torch. Did I get everything? Oh, we've also got bark. Bark will be useful eventually too. Though I don't want to grab too much of it because I think it'll take up space in my inventory, and I don't need it yet. Or no, I think I will by the end of this shelter. I think I will need it. All right. I could have picked that stuff up while holding a long stick, by the way. I just chose not to. See, you can do that. All right, so there's a long stick. I'm going to build again. And now it needs what? It needs bark. So I've got 4 of the bark that it needs, but let's... Now to get more bark, I think I have to chop down another tree. So let's do that. I don't know if there's a way to harvest bark without chopping an entire tree down. But that's fine. We're going to use all these sticks anyway, so this is not a waste. By the way, I don't know if you can be damaged by a falling tree in this game like you can in Valheim. I haven't tested it out because I don't want to. That was always a funny part of Valheim, though. Okay, so I think a typical tree does produce 4 bark. And, oh, yeah, and this dwarf spruce will also just give you sticks. The same way driftwood does. And, ooh, berries. I am getting hungry. So, I'm going to gather some berries. So let me eat some berries real fast. They don't give you a lot of a reprieve from hunger, but they give you some. The thing you don't want to do at this early stage in the game, this is a mistake that I made, you don't want to just collect all of the food in the world. Like, I landed at this beach area that was covered by, like, rocks that had mussels living on them, and I gathered all the mussels in the world, and it turns out food goes bad. So I basically had pockets that were absolutely full of corroded, nasty old mussels, and if I ate them, they would make me sick. And so don't do that. Basically, scavenge what you need, but don't just scavenge a huge store of food. Food goes bad. All right, we'll put the bark on there. Hammer on this a little bit more. Ooh, look, I got a little bit injured while I was working. You just take little tiny amounts of hit point damage occasionally while you're working. But now I've got a shelter, so if I want to, I can go to sleep. However, the problem is it doesn't skip time when you're doing that. So this is the sleeping mechanic. The shelters are mostly actually for your... I think you do get a benefit from resting, but the shelters are mostly for the people who work for you, the people who live in your village. They're not really for you. So we're going to get up. And you see that exclamation point over it? What that means is this is a building that is not yet assigned to a person. And so if we'd like to assign it to a person, we can, but we have to get a person first. So let's have a look at our build menu now. So now we can build an Eye of Odin. The Eye of Odin is what you use to summon people into your village. So I'm going to figure out... Actually, wait, before I do this, I should make a torch because I want to be able to see. So I believe that was under tools, simple torch, craft. There we go. All right, so let's look around a little bit and see where we want our Eye of Odin. So this flat area will eventually become like all of the stuff that I need to run my, I'm going to be filling this with like workshops and homes and things like that. So I'm going to gather some of the things that are just sitting here in my way. And so I want the Eye of Odin to be in a place that is convenient for all that. Ideally, we'll want to surround it by a fence too, around the periphery, probably on the maybe, just on the near side of those trees. And we want the Eye of Odin to be somewhere in the middle of all that. So I guess, yeah, let's put it near this campfire. So Eye of Odin. Let's put it right here. And, okay, so we can level the terrain. So as long as I've got the hoe in my inventory, I can level the terrain. And we can supply the first round of items to this. Oh, but not all of them. Hold on, let's pin the recipe. What are we missing? We need 2 more long sticks and 5 small stones. Well, where did I put the rest of that tree? There it is. So we'll load those sticks on there. Where's the other one? There it is. You really end up making use of this resource detection button. And then more small stones. Now, I think small stones are mostly on the beach. Now, oh, but I've got a pickaxe, don't I? Let's go find a big stone. That's a stump. And I think this guy, yeah, this fancy rock that's full of Jotun blood, can't harvest that yet. But this little one, ooh, I can harvest this little one. Oh, it's getting stormy out there. So this is going to give me Jotun blood, which I'm going to need to summon people. But it's also going to give me rocks, I believe. And if this doesn't, there's other places I can get rocks as well. So you see, each time I do a certain number of hits to it, it gets smaller, and an item breaks off it. Okay, so we've got a large stone, a small stone, and some Jotun blood. Another small stone. And, okay, you can carry the large stone. This is just like a large stick. I can carry that large stone with me. I'll need it eventually. So I'm just going to drop that here. And we'll put some more stones in there. We still need 2 more. Are you going to tell me to build that? Yes, I have Odin. Cool. Let's get credit for it. Okay, here's another stone clump. This doesn't have any Jotun blood in it, but we can still get a lot of rocks out of it, and that's what we're going for. All right, so we got another small stone. More small stones this time. And we'll carry the large stone back again, too, because why not? We will want it eventually. Nothing is wasted in my Viking village. Okay. And now it's missing... Oh, it's missing 2 large stones. Look at that. All right, well, we'll drop these 2 large stones in there. I didn't actually remember that that's exactly what it needed, but I think it's funny that I was all prepared. But yeah, I promise this process does become more automated at some point very soon. Oh, we got a splinter. All right, we've got our Eye of Odin. We can open up its storage, and it's got 5 slots here, which are just the right size for some Jotun blood. I got 5 right at my crash, so I have enough to summon 1 person, and then I've collected that additional bit of Jotun blood the last time I, hacked into that rock. But we're gonna hit summon, and we get to choose who we want. We can either get Thera, who is an athlete, who will drink more water because they're an athlete, but they also have more stamina, and they're a traveler of the open plains and coastal areas, so they can handle wind. Okay. Whereas this guy, oh, he gets more benefit from a spring? Oh, spring like the season, not spring like the landform. Okay. And then he's a talent for farming and gardening, which we don't need yet. So I'm going to go for the high stamina person. And so now it's summoning them. But if they're going to be thirsty, I need to get myself a rain collector. So while that is summoning, I'm going to build a rain collector. And I'm going to stick it... Where am I going to stick it? I'm going to stick it right there next to the Eye of Odin. Alright, and now this needs sticks, which I have, but I don't have enough. And I need some long sticks as well. Okay. So it looks like we're chopping another tree down. But that's okay. I just ate an uncooked egg. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, let's have a look at this thing. Oh, the wood is wet. That's annoying. I think we need to build some upgrades on this thing. A barbecue so we can cook, and a fire cover so that it being wet doesn't matter anymore. Let's build the barbecue because I don't want to be eating raw eggs. I'd like to be able to cook my eggs. Yeah, so it can't ignite because of wet wood. So let's pin that recipe as well. So this needs sticks and rope. Now, do I have any fibers in my inventory? Yeah, I got a bunch of fibers. Okay, so I can make the rope. The rope is no big deal. I just need to open this thing and make a bunch of rope. All right. And then let's chop down again. Now, without accidentally hitting the egg button, let's chop down another tree. We're starting to get a little bit further away, which means I have to run further with my long sticks. And that's why, you know, in my first game, when I accidentally, well, not accidentally, but like without realizing the implications, started trying to build right next to my shipwreck, it became a problem because running these long sticks back and forth is a nightmare. Okay, so we need small sticks and long sticks. So we will get both. Okay, so the rain collector now needs 2 more long sticks. Is this another young fir? Yes. So I'm leaving the stumps behind, by the way. You can hack the stumps apart, but what they give you is firewood specifically. And so that's not going to be useful for construction. I'll keep them around because getting firewood from them eventually is valuable. So you're not using your construction sticks for fueling the fire. Oh, we got 2. Oh, hello. Hey, my guy just got spawned. Hello. Okay, so what are you doing? Okay, so they are running around now and collecting the resources that we need to build this stuff, and then they're going to run it back and start building it for us. So builder is the first job that they get automatically. See that? So they've just stashed some of the necessary wood. There. Oh, and they're bringing the long stick too. So look at this. I can just sit back and watch them do it now that I've got another person. I had to chop the tree down. This person is not equipped to chop trees down, but now that I've chopped down enough tree, and let's finish this one. Once I've chopped down enough tree for them to have what they need to build this stuff, they're just going to build it. And they automatically get like low-level tools. So I don't need to supply them with tools or anything. Like they can, that person has the equivalent of a hammer. You can hear them over there. They're hammering on one of the buildings. Look at that. We have got a water supply because they, without my help, well, except creating the construction supplies, they finished the rain collector. So now that it's raining, this thing is going to slowly fill up with water, and we will have access to things to drink. And I will supply the rope that I have, and now this guy's going to finish the barbecue. We can watch his progress. All right, and then I'm going to, let's see here. I want to, can I cook? Oh, I can't ignite it yet. But okay, I want to open the campfire menu. That's what I want because a fire cover is also necessary. So this requires sticks, bark, and rope. Okay, so I've got rope. So I'll supply some of it, but we need 1 more rope than I had. So let's see. Do we have a place that I can gather? Why is this stick sticking out of the ground? That's funny. Okay. Oh, here's berries. I wouldn't mind having some of those. But I think, yeah, this is flax. This gives me fibers. And that means that I can make some more rope. So I'll supply that. And then, you know what? I'll just let this person do the building. Right? Oh, wait. Oh, do you want to talk to me? Why do you want to talk to me? Oh, I bet you want to be assigned a home, don't you? I bet you do. I can also trade with them. I can give them supplies. I think, yeah, so they come with all the basics that they need to do sort of basic stuff out in the world. But I should assign this home to them. So, manage house. Yeah. Now I know how to make these go away. Let's assign them to the house. So they've got a home. And now I've completed a new deed, and I think that I've got more stuff that I can do. But, so I can assign them now to cook. Like, I can make them my cook if I want to. Now, I don't know if they've got any, like, food that they can cook. I can open this storage here. I can... Yeah, see, wild eggs? I don't know if I actually can cook them. I was mourning the fact that I couldn't cook it, but actually... I'm not sure if cooking... Yeah, cooking this is not an option. I think I need to find, like, meat-type foods. Well, in that case, before this egg finishes going bad... Oh, nope, the egg was already bad. I've eaten bad eggs. That's too bad. Okay, so we've got a lot of stuff lying around. I wonder, if I give my villager a torch, will they use it at night? I don't know. I'm gonna leave most of this stuff lying around, but let's start gathering some more Jotun blood. Oh wait, we can't get it from this thing because it's too big. I need a fancier. Oop, got some flax. I need a fancier pickaxe before I can cut into that thing. So let's go with this one. I think this only gives 1 unit of Jotun blood. So I'm going to need to find basically 4 of these, including this one, to get enough Jotun blood to summon another villager. Now, I didn't need to assign that guy to be the cook. The reason I did was because otherwise your campfire has an exclamation point on top of it all the time. And that makes me sad. So I've assigned him to be the cook, but actually I could focus on giving him another more useful job to do. Alright, is that everything? Yep. Okay, so I got the Jotun blood, and I'm going to run back with this guy. I do appreciate that because this world is so, like, detailed and busy, I appreciate that they put up on the compass like the direction to my home, so I don't just get lost all the time. Okay, yeah, so Thera's warming up by the fire. We should see if we can give Thera something else to do. So woodcutter's pit, for instance. Seems like that could be valuable. They can go out there and just collect wood for us to construct everything else. Gatherer's pit is also good because that means that we can start automating our food supply. For right now, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Let's grab the woodcutter's pit. And let's build that. I guess we'll just start building it around the fire. Stick that right there. We will level it. And I don't know, I don't think that my villagers come with a hoe. I think that I might have to do the placing, certainly the placement I do by myself. I think I might have to do the leveling myself too. But, okay, so if I open the campfire menu, can I unassign? Can I unassign the person? It looks like maybe I can't. Can I open the villager menu? Can I give them a different job from here? I can mess with their schedule, which is neat. I can dismiss them from the barbecue job. If I dismiss them from the barbecue job, then it means during daylight hours. Right now they're sleeping, but during daylight hours they will actually do building jobs, including building this woodcutter's pit. So right now, it needs 1 more rope, sticks and long sticks. Okay, we can do that. Let's find some reeds. So flax gives you fibers directly, and also fighting those little wispy guys gives you fibers immediately. But it's a lot easier to see the reeds, and so I usually just go for the reeds. Because again, I think they grow back. So I don't think the fact that I'm gathering this in the form of thatch, I don't think it's particularly wasteful. Even though I'm basically mulching down the thatch in my inventory to make it into fibers. It does feel like it's lossy, but I think it's all right. So we will make a bunch of rope. We're going to keep needing lots of rope, so I'm just going to make as much rope as I possibly can. We'll supply that. We need long sticks and sticks. And so I'm basically doing this job because Thera's asleep. But at the same time... Ooh, berries. At the same time, getting a second villager also seems valuable. So maybe I'll spend my time, now that I've queued that thing up, so I think it'll be pretty easy for Thera to build that once he, or she, I actually didn't check whether Thera is a man or a woman. Once Thera is up, once they are up, they can build that thing. In the meantime, I'll be collecting Jotun blood so that I can summon another Thera. And I'm gonna grab all the rocks while I'm at it. So we will drop this. Okay, so I'm gonna drink some more water. Feeling hydrated. I guess I should also eat some berries. So eating berries while they're fresh is good. Just sitting there and holding on to them forever until they go bad in your pocket, not as good a plan. All right, let's get some more. Actually, I don't necessarily need to be gathering all the stones. Once I have like a stonecutter's pit, that person will also, they'll take care of that job for me. I just don't like leaving stuff lying out in the world. I don't know, it just feels like I'm littering or something. So we'll drop that. And I see another source of Jotun blood out here. How much Jotun blood do I have right now? I've got 4. Okay, so this will be my 5th one, and then I'll be able to summon another person. And once I can start like leveling up my tools, I can start taking down those larger sources of Jotun blood. Though I don't think they necessarily give more Jotun blood than the small ones. I think you might get the same amount of Jotun blood. It's just what kind of rocks you get at the same time. I think it's less, a question of these are the small sources of Jotun blood and these are the large sources of Jotun blood. It's more like these are the early game sources and these are the late game sources, or mid game, I guess, sources. So we can, we'll stick them all in the same place, but you can't use them all at first. But they're not making me sort of like travel further in order to get more Jotun blood, at least initially. Okay, so wait, do I have... what was this thing? Oh, a spruce. Why not? I'll get some sticks. Okay, so I've got more Jotun blood. So we'll open the storage. And summon another person. So this time my options are Carl, who is good at fishing in the summer, and eats more but hits harder. Oh, this guy would be a bad woodcutter, but he's a good archer. So if I need like a hunter, he could be good at that. The second guy doesn't need to be a woodcutter because my first guy's a woodcutter. So I could go with this guy, and he doesn't eat more than this guy. So yeah, let's go with this guy. He's got a weakness, but it's a weakness that I can handle. Okay, so we need, I guess since my dude's still asleep, we will... Okay, I gotta get this thing out anyway. So carry that long stick, and we'll grab some short sticks as well. Is there another short stick I can grab? Yeah, there's a bunch. We're gonna load up on short sticks. Oh wait, this isn't sticks, this is bark. No, I'm picking up bark. That's a waste. I don't need bark right now. Alright. Carry this over here. Now I just need one more long stick. This whole place is going to get so much neater once we've got a full-time woodcutter. You're going to gather all of this stuff up and put it in a central place. It's going to be great. At least during the daytime. Okay, so now we've got this place. It's got storage for things like sticks, which I can now unload into it. It's got storage for bark, which I can unload into it. It's got storage for thatch, which I don't have any of, and it's got storage for long sticks, and I believe you can upgrade it so it can hold logs, I think. So let's manage workers, and let's assign Thera to be our woodcutter. So now Thera is going to be going out, gathering up all of this wood that's out on the ground, bringing it to this spot, and when that's done, they'll be, I think, cutting down more trees. I believe that they will, on their own initiative, cut down trees. So that means, and now I need to think of what's our next character's job. So I think, so that everybody can eat, let's go Gatherer's Pit next. And then we'll put the Stonecutter's spot beyond it. Okay. So we'll start leveling this. So, oh, Berger has arrived. So this needs long sticks and sticks, but because Berger has arrived and has started out as a builder, Berger's going to just start picking up stuff. Let's equip our torch so we can see. Notice Berger just grabbed stuff that I had stored here at the woodcutters and went and stuck it here. And now he's off to grab the other stuff that this needs. So he just slots right into the community. He knows exactly what to do. All I'm doing is queuing up jobs, and this guy does the jobs. So once he's done finishing that Gatherer's Pit, I'll assign him to be our gatherer, and he'll start collecting food that everybody can then, you know, collect and eat. So I've got my berries that I've been eating, which I've just finished up, but everybody else also needs to eat. And so the Gatherer's Pit here is going to prepare them for that. So I'm going to go off... Ooh, flax. I'm going to go off in search of more Jotun blood. We want a third person. Oh, hey, looks like I can actually carry a torch and another weapon at the same time. Though now that the sun's come up, I don't need the torch as much. Oh, and fallen bird's nest. I can get some feathers. Oh, and another egg. Oh, I think I just heard... Yeah, there's some animals. Okay, so you can hunt these animals. However, it's annoying. You can... so basically... So I put a lot of time in my other save. I put a lot of time into getting a bow and arrow because I thought, oh, that's probably the right way to fight these guys. To hunt them is to hit them with a bow and arrow. However, the bow and arrow does minuscule amounts of damage to them. The real way to hunt them is to just smack them in the face. You just have to sort of corner them against some kind of obstacle and hit them a bunch of times before they have time to run away from you. Oh, look, I got 2 Jotun blood from this one. Nice. Okay, now that I'm going to be getting ourselves a stone cutter soon. So I'm going to leave the big stone there. They'll get it. Yeah, they're all running away from me now. Oh, here we go. Look, can I... Oh, wait. Those guys with the antlers, I've never seen them before. I've only seen the guys that look like half bunny, half sheep. But there's some antlery things, too, that I haven't seen. I'm not sure if those things fight back, so I'm going to avoid tangling with them yet. The fact that they're pointy does make me think they might be dangerous. Is this one going to give me multiple Jotun blood? Looks like not. I think it would have by now. Oh, no, it did! It did! Oh, this is going way faster. I wonder if this has to do with my gathering skill increasing. Like, I wonder if I'm actually getting more from stuff. So I just need 1 more Jotun blood. Oh, 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 come here. Come here, come here. Come here. Yeah, yeah, come here. Yeah, so he's cornered now behind collision. However, my stamina is way down. Yes. And because I have a knife, I can actually harvest meat from this thing. So the first time I did this, I didn't have a knife, and so I was just sitting here with a dead smolker, and I had no idea what to do with it. But I do have a knife. So I can just cover the ground with its meat. And leather scraps as well. Okay, so I have collected meat for my group, but before I take it home, I think I need one more. Yeah, I need one more Jotun blood. This guy's watching me. Hey, you smell like my friend. Are your pockets full of my friend? All right, we got one more Jotun blood. That's what we needed. And you know what? I'm going to bring home one large stone because I can. Because we may very well have a working stonecutter's pit now. Let's see. Oh wait, no, sorry. We were building. I forgot we were building a gatherer's pit, not a stonecutter's pit. So no, of course we don't have one. Let's drop that. But one thing we do have is a barbecue. So let's cook. So we can put the red meat on there. And let it all cook. And then we can take this and put it in the food storage nearby, and people can pull from it when they want to eat. I could just leave it. Oh wait, it says no. There's no longer a fire warming you. Did I? Oh, we ran out of fuel on the fire. Hold on. Let's harvest from a tree stump. The tree stump taking less time to harvest than the actual tree feels unrealistic. I've tried to get rid of a tree stump before. It's hard. My axe is wearing down, by the way. Oh, wait. Somebody else just reignited this thing. Well, I'm going to put more fuel into it so it lasts longer. But this is the fun of having villagers. Okay, this stuff is starting to burn now. Okay, hold on. Let's grab it all. Yeah, we don't want it to singe. And then let's deposit our meat here. So now we've got meat sitting here in our meat storage. And so anybody who's hungry can grab some. I've got enough berries. I'm fine. And I guess, I don't know. I'm a vegan Viking. So I'm just going to eat berries. Okay, so now we've got enough Jotun blood to summon a third person. Oh, but the last person we didn't get a shelter. So we need to build a shelter for our new member. We also need to see, we've got Bodil, who Windrider, and Feeble Logger. Okay, so everyone's a feeble logger. Athlete, great thirst, fond of sunny days and recover my stamina slightly faster when working in the sun. I just want to have a bunch of really feeble loggers. I don't know. I like the idea of this being like a cultural trait that my people have. We're just really bad at logging. So let's set up a few more things to build. So we've got, a water well. That actually seems pretty valuable, but let's do shelters first. So let's build a shelter here. And does this guy have a hoe? Is somebody gonna? Oh yeah, they can. Okay, I thought they couldn't. They absolutely can hoe the ground. That's awesome. Okay, cool, sweet. Then I'm going to build another shelter right here for our newcomer. And yeah, so I haven't assigned that guy to be gatherer yet. And so he's just going to keep building stuff until I make him gatherer. And because I brought this meat home, I don't feel like we need the gatherer so much right now. So yeah, I'm just going to build the next thing, the stonecutter's pit. And let's make sure we know what direction it faces, like that. I just want to make everything sort of oriented to face the campfire. That just seems right to me. So I'm basically just giving them instructions, and they do whatever they can. So this thing. The thing that they think they can't make yet is rope. So any rope I have to provide. So I'm actually going to run, just in case more things need rope, I'm going to go out and make sure that I've got what it takes to provide the rope. Because I think everything else now, it's all like wood products. Which, we've got, you see, like, we've got my logger coming out here bringing the wood. And then, you see, depositing the wood. And then the builder is taking the wood and putting it in the shelter. And the same is true of bark, the same is true of sticks. But like if I come out here and I grab some sticks, I also now, instead of just keeping them in my inventory, I want to take them back and put them in that repository where everybody else knows what to do with them. So yeah, so the reason I got interested in this game in the first place is because it is so, like, the premise up front is very similar to State of Decay. It's like you're in a hostile world full of people that need things, and you're trying to provide for those people. However, State of Decay's balance is much more, like the balance of its focus, I guess, is much more on the sort of zombie fighting, surviving out in the world. Oh, my inventory's full. And so we try to make, things in the base as rock solid as possible. We don't set it up so that it depends on a bunch of AI wandering around and getting jobs done, because we don't want managing that AI to be your focus. We want your focus to be, oh no, a feral saw me, and like we want the community management to be a thing that you're thinking about in the background and a thing that informs your strategy, that gives you your own like self-motivated goals, but we don't want controlling it and planning it in detail to be a dominating part of the experience. However, this game, it makes me feel like there is a game that is not State of Decay out there that somebody could make that could do the same thing in the zombie apocalypse. Like, I think State of Decay is a fundamentally different kind of game from this, and that's very deliberate. I think that there's a big reason. I think a lot of the people who play the game want it to be the kind of game that it is and wouldn't want it to become this kind of game. But I think there's people who play State of Decay who actually would love a game of this type. It's set in the zombie apocalypse, and play State of Decay because it's close enough. 7 Days to Die, is definitely a game with a lot more sort of like hands-on management of your home and how it works. And there's a lot of crossover between, people who play that game and people who play this game. See, this one still needs more rope. And I was going to make more rope. But yeah, I could totally see, I think there is room in the marketplace for somebody to make a game of this type that could exist alongside State of Decay for people with sort of different focus and different tastes. That could work really well in the zombie apocalypse. Okay, so I've got these builders, and okay, this also needs rope. Here, there's some rope. And then what is this missing? Long sticks. Do we have long sticks? We're low on long sticks. Are we chopping down trees to obtain long sticks? Is this our wood gatherer? Let's see. I'm curious where this person is going. Okay, so they're gathering driftwood. Will they decide to just chop down a tree on their own? Or do I need to pick the trees to chop down? Because chopping down a tree is actually a pretty major decision. Like, you're sort of terraforming your world as you chop trees down. So maybe I genuinely don't know if the automated characters will chop down trees. I haven't witnessed one doing it. Okay, so yeah, so I can't chop down any birch trees. I can chop down young fir trees, but not older fir trees. Let's see if I can find... Here's a young fir. So I'm going to chop down some young fir trees to just get them on the ground. And I wonder if that will be enough to get our woodcutter out here chopping. Of course, right now it's nighttime. So they're not going to be doing anything, I don't think, either way. Where is... There it is. The other tree I knocked down. Yeah, but if I make enough sticks just available, the builders will come and get them. Actually, oh, it looks like somebody did just finish building something back there. Let's see if that's everything. Because if it is, I think we can assign our guys to all be doing production jobs. And good timing, because we're hitting an hour. Alright, I've chopped down some trees. Made some useful stuff. And, okay, it looks like this house has not yet been assigned a person. Okay, so none of my people are homeless now. And we can assign... So who's already got a job? So, okay, so Thera is my existing woodcutter. And the other two are builders. And neither of them should be a woodcutter. So let's make my other builders do these two jobs. So now I have no builders. Building is up to me now. But we've also got nothing to build at the moment. So that's fine. I do think we should probably... Let's make some plans for later. So, one thing I want is a water well. This requires a lot of stone, but I've been collecting a lot of stone. So that's fine. Where does it need to be? Does it need to be in a particular place? Can I just... Oh. Wait a minute. Oh, I have to stick it on an existing water source. That makes sense. Okay, okay, cool. Well, let's stick it there. And let's throw in all the stuff that it needs. It still needs a lot of sticks, but that's okay. We've got a lot of sticks, don't we? Let's see. So we don't have a full-time builder. That's bark. Sticks. So I can just take a bunch of sticks. I don't remember how many it needs. Maybe more than that. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, we need 6 more. Do we have 6 more? We had 5 more. How inconvenient. Okay, we gotta get 1 more stick. Ooh, flax. I always grab flax. Can never have enough fibers. And I'm going to keep gathering from birds' nests whenever I can, because eventually I want to be shooting arrows at things, even if they're not that effective. It's still fun. So let's supply that. Let's build it. I just want to make sure that my people have enough stuff between having a full-time gatherer who's going to be out there, you know, collecting a bunch of home to drink, collecting a bunch of food for everybody. We should also just make sure we've got plenty of water available. So now everybody's survival needs are met. We've got 3 people who are all sleeping in their little shelters. We've got 3 jobs out here for them to do to supply stone, food, and other like sundries and wood to the community. So now our next goal is going to be to upgrade our tools, to make it so that we can actually chop down these larger trees and start building some of the larger stuff you can build with the logs and the large stones and the other things that you can get from those sources of resources. So That's it. So this is ASKA so far. I want to do another episode because all I've done so far, like I have taken this about one level further before, and I don't know what goes beyond that. I really want to discover it, particularly as your community gets larger and more complex. I want to see how hard it is to keep track of everything. And one thing we haven't seen yet is an attack on the village. So, yeah, we should get ready for all of that stuff. But for right now, I think we need to wrap this up. I did a whole series of me playing Valheim, and that was great. And I love that Valheim made such a splash that there's a lot of other games that are popping up trying to do something that is Valheim adjacent to sort of draft off that attention, but are also doing their own thing. ASKA is probably one of the best examples of that. So, yeah, we'll wrap this up. There is a subscribe button. Here's the next episode whenever I make it, and I'll see you later.